I want to break that question into a couple of different things. In terms of like the prevention side of it, it's important for parents and coaches and other role models in athletes' lives to really be aware of what you're saying and how you're saying it, because you may not mean something that's degrading or upsetting about an athlete's body, but they may take it that way. So be very careful about the things that you're saying. In my own research, I've seen a lot of instances where a coach has made a comment about a teammate's body, and that's affected an athlete who the comment wasn't even directed towards. So be very careful about those things that you're saying. In general, we should never comment on another athlete's body. If she's lost weight and she's looking a little bit trim, she already knows that. She doesn't need reinforcement, because all that's going to do is perpetuate that. And I should say or he, because this happens in men as well. And we can't discount the fact that it's occurring there too. The other thing from a preventative standpoint is to think about the things that you're doing. Your son or daughter will model what it is that they see from you. And if you have a disruptive relationship with your body, they're likely to develop a disruptive relationship with their body, which can progress into eating disorders. So if mom is on diets constantly, or if dad overtrains and uses a lot of supplements and things like that, we're likely to see athletes really emulate that kind of behavior. So really paying attention to what you're doing is really important. And then we also need to make sure that we're educating athletes in advance about their body. We need to prepare them for the fact that, okay, when you hit puberty, your body's going to change in these ways. And it's not going to look the same as everybody else, because everybody else does this at different times. And same thing when we go to high school, and same thing when we go to college. We need to have a lot of those conversations about what the body is designed to do, how it works, how it is that nutrition and recovery are just as important for performance as training is. And so if we can have those conversations and shift how it is that athletes are relating to their bodies, we have really a much better chance. And then the last thing from a preventative standpoint is just having a very supportive environment. One of the greatest risks for athletes with eating disorders is having a sport environment that is entirely focused on performance. Now, whether that comes from coaches, parents, or teammates, when we shift the focus from personal development to sport achievement, we tend to see a pretty dramatic increase in eating disorder symptoms. And then from a treatment standpoint, which is I think what you originally were looking at, coaches and parents need to seek professional help. Your athlete may not be ready to come in and talk to me yet, but that doesn't mean that you can't reach out to me and say, hey, here's what it is that I'm seeing. What do I need to be alarmed about? What is it that I need to look at? What the next steps need to be? And my response may be, yeah, you need to bring them in and let's talk. But it may also be, okay, so I'm hearing this and this and that. I'm not convinced that that's an eating disorder yet. Let's just talk about the other things that I want you to look out for. Here are the things that I want you to think about in terms of your own behaviors and the things that you're saying, and the environment that the athlete is in, and whether or not that's productive and healthy for them. So seeking consultation from a professional is incredibly helpful. And then they'll know whether or not to refer your athlete for assessment and treatment, or whether there's something else underlying kind of what's happening, and eating disorders are just more of a symptom, which we sometimes, like I said, see in trauma work, when we know that trauma is a high correlate of eating disorders as well.